Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some really interesting stuff to talk about because No Man's Sky just dropped a brand new update, version 6.112. And while it might look small on the surface, there's actually a lot happening underneath that's worth unpacking. You know how Hello Games operates. They don't always make a big fuss when they push these kinds of updates, but when you start playing after one of these patches, that's when you realize how much smoother, cleaner, and in some cases more stable the experience has become. So yeah, this one's technically a hotfix, but it's a meaningful one, especially for anyone playing the latest Breach Expedition or exploring black hole systems. Let's start from the top. This patch went live first on Steam, which usually happens before it rolls out to other platforms like PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Hello Games confirmed that console players are next in line and that it's just going through the certification process right now. That's completely normal for them. They like to get things onto PC quickly because that's where they can monitor performance, player reports, and any lingering issues before pushing it out everywhere else. If you're on console and wondering why your version hasn't updated yet, no need to worry. It's on the way. So what exactly did this patch fix? The main highlight, and honestly, one of the most frustrating bugs for a lot of players, was this issue where black holes were behaving a little unpredictably. Some players were getting warped to random systems or pulled through unintended jumps, sometimes messing with their navigation or progress. It wasn't game-breaking in every case, but if you were in the middle of an expedition or trying to complete a specific set of objectives, it could definitely throw you off. Hello Games patched that out in 6.12, so now if you're exploring systems with black holes, the warp mechanics should behave properly again. No more surprise teleportations, no more weird coordinate glitches. It's the kind of fix that makes the galaxy feel stable again, less of those "wait, what just happened" moments. The other major fix is related to the Breach Expedition, which, by the way, has been such a refreshing addition to the game. This expedition introduced a lot of new lore-heavy content, the kind that leans into the mysterious, almost dreamlike side of No Man's Sky. Players get to experience these surreal purple-hued systems, derelict ships, and strange Atlas-like environments that feel unlike anything else we've seen recently. But there was one problem holding players back from progressing smoothly. Building planetary research stations wasn't working correctly for everyone. It was one of those situations where you could reach the objective, have all the materials ready, and yet the game wouldn't register it properly. That's been fixed with this patch, which means the expedition can now flow the way it was meant to. You can actually build those stations, complete that stage of your journey, and keep progressing without hitting a wall. It might sound like a small update, but if you've played No Man's Sky for any length of time, you know how one little bug can completely throw off the immersion. That's why players love how Hello Games handles these situations. They don't wait months to fix things. They notice an issue, patch it quickly, and quietly make the game better. It's that consistent support that's kept No Man's Sky alive and thriving for nearly a decade now. And with every update, even the smaller ones like this, the overall experience just gets smoother and more refined. Now, since we're on the topic of the Breach Expedition, it's worth talking about what this event has brought to the game, because even though this update mainly focuses on fixes, it ties directly into the ongoing content of that expedition. The Breach Expedition has this eerie, almost otherworldly tone. The systems look distorted and alien, with shades of deep purple and shifting light effects that make you feel like you're inside a dream or some kind of fractured dimension. There's a strong sense of mystery, like the game is pulling you into the heart of something bigger than just space exploration. Players have been uncovering strange artifacts, ancient ships, and lore fragments that seem to hint more Atlas-related storylines. It really captures that original No Man's Sky magic, where every system feels like it's holding a secret. And of course, as with most expeditions, the Breach comes with a bunch of unique rewards. You can earn new cosmetic items, decorations, and even special ship parts that give your vessels that distinct, almost ceremonial look. There's a real sense of discovery again, the kind of excitement you get when you step onto a new planet and realize it's unlike anything you've seen before. That's what Hello Games has always been great at, making the universe feel infinite, but still worth exploring every corner of. What's interesting about 6.12, though, is how it keeps building on that idea. Every patch feels like another layer of polish. We've reached a point now where No Man's Sky doesn't just feel stable, it feels alive. The performance is solid, the visuals are cleaner than ever, and these subtle adjustments make the game world more cohesive. I've noticed fewer stutters when warping between systems, smoother transitions when entering the atmosphere of planets, and even the lighting in some areas seems a bit more balanced after this patch. Hello Games didn't explicitly list those as changes, but longtime players can feel it. You start to pick up on the little differences. Another small but important thing, these updates help maintain the consistency between platforms. When PC gets a patch like this, it often sets the stage for upcoming sync updates across consoles. So once 6.12 hits PlayStation and Xbox, Expect the expedition to run more reliably there too. It's especially helpful for multiplayer sessions because nothing breaks immersion faster than one player having a different experience due to platform desync. I think what's really cool about this whole situation is how Hello Games communicates now compared to the early days. Back in 2016, when the game first launched, there was a lot of silence from them, which understandably frustrated people. But over time, they've completely turned that around. They don't oversell anything, they don't promise features that aren't ready, they just deliver. And that quiet, steady consistency has earned them so much respect in the gaming community. This patch is another example of that mindset. Instead of flashy trailers or long posts, they simply said, here's what we fixed, here's why it matters, and it's available now. That's how you build trust with players. If you're returning to the game after a while, this is actually a great time to jump back in. The Breach Expedition is still ongoing, and the update ensures you can experience it without those annoying bugs getting in the way. Plus, these events always come with limited time rewards, so even if you're a veteran player with hundreds of hours logged, there's still something new to chase. And if you're new to the game, well, you're stepping into a universe that's more stable and feature-rich than it's ever been. I've seen a lot of players share their experiences post-patch, especially those who had trouble with the black hole issue. The difference is immediately noticeable. Before, some players would warp into random systems, sometimes ending up thousands of light years away from where they planned to go. It messed with route planning and in some rare cases, even stranded people without enough warp fuel to get back. Now, those transitions feel smoother, more controlled. It's a small fix, but it restores that sense of agency. When you travel through space, you know exactly where you're going and what to expect. And speaking of expectations, let's talk about what this could mean for the next major update. Hello Games usually follows a pattern. They release a big expansion, then several small patches like this one to stabilize it, and then quietly start preparing for whatever's next. With the Breach Expedition running now, it's very possible they're already working on the next themed update or story expansion. Maybe something that builds on the mysterious energy of these distorted systems. Or perhaps new set of mechanics tied to multi-dimensional travel. It's speculation for now, but based on their history, you can almost sense the direction they're heading. Another thing worth mentioning is how this update reinforces the game's identity as a living universe. Each patch might fix bugs, but it also keeps the momentum of the community going. People share discoveries, screenshots, base builds, and even cinematic videos. The update gives them a reason to log in again, and that steady engagement is what keeps the No Man's Sky world feeling so active. If you check the community hubs or Reddit right now, you'll see players already talking about how much smoother their expeditions feel, how the visual tone of the Breach systems looks better post-update, and how they're finally able to complete objectives that were previously bugged. There's something almost poetic about that. No Man's Sky started as a game about exploration and discovery, but over time, it's become just as much about persistence and improvement. Every fix, every tweak, every tiny adjustment is a reminder of how far it's come. And honestly, updates like 6.12 are a perfect example of how a small technical patch can carry a big emotional impact.